Welcome back to At the Mic with Michael Schumacher, brought to you by JR's Oasis. More than a fuel station, more than a convenience store, it is your one-stop travel shop on Fox Sports Radio. And that was The Shins with New Slang from Sub Pop Records. And we are talking some Mount Marty Lady Lancer basketball as they recently announced a new commitment, a name that is familiar to many who have followed South Dakota high school basketball over the years. Bella Swedlund. Bella, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. Like I say, I'm better than I deserve. And I'm so glad I get to talk with you today. And boy, this was a quick turnaround. I think I just saw it last night. And man, you responded to my text. We got this set up. So just, for people that maybe even know the name, but maybe don't know much about you, tell us a little bit about you, your family, kind of your background, hobbies, interests, and then the path that has led you to this commitment to Mount Marty.
So like you said, I'm Bella Swedlund. I grew up in Winter, just an hour south of here, as many people know. I grew up on a farm and ranch with my three younger sisters and my parents, who are high school sweethearts. They're both graduates of Winter. But yeah, that's a little bit on my family. Outside of basketball and the basketball court and everything that has to do with it, I really enjoy lifting and like the nutrition and like health and stuff like that. It's a big interest of mine. But I also really enjoy crime shows and baking and cooking. And I love being around the people I love the most. So like my friends, boyfriend, family, just really the people that bring out the best in me. I don't know if that's considered a hobby or more so favorite activity. My journey has been quite the story, we can say. There's been a stop everywhere, I swear, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I committed to Kansas for a year and a half before going down there in 2022 after graduation. I really liked it, loved the campus and everything about it. Just wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. So made the decision to enter the portal, ended up at Toledo. And, wow, that feels like forever ago, honestly. Toledo was special. I mean, it's a mid-major, but the women's basketball culture and the support it has is unbelievable. It was so cool to see, especially with the rise of women's sports and women's basketball especially. So it was really amazing to be a part of that. Was able to go to March Madness and be a part of the WBIT. Some really cool experiences. I was also able to meet my boyfriend of 2.5 years. So very thankful for my time at Toledo. And after Toledo, I tore my ACL for the second time. So I was kind of looking to go in a different direction. I really wanted to get into sports management, and the coach left and just stuff like that. So I was like, all right, here we go again. So I entered the portal and thankful enough to have the right contacts and the right people in my corner to get an opportunity to play at Valpo. Coach Evans, who was not here this last year, she recruited me out of high school the first time I went in the portal and the second time. So I was like, all right, this girl really likes me. Like, I want to go here. Like, she believes in me. So ended up at Valpo, and she gave me the year to kind of heal up from my injury mentally, physically, gave me some time to really adjust and kind of be myself again, find myself again after all the bumps in the road. Last year was quite interesting for me. A lot of people know my dad was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia in January of 2025. That was quite the journey for my family and I. It brought us all together, and we can all kind of laugh about it now and talk about it and kind of be like, oh, remember when? But at the time, it's terrifying. It's scary. You don't know, and the people you lean on is your family. And we all learned a lot about our faith and what we mean to each other and stuff like that. We had a lot of amazing people reach out. The town of Winter really came together. It just showed like how special it is to live in South Dakota. I always knew like, all right, South Dakota's home, but after that happened and the way the state kind of rallied around us, wrapped their arms around us was tremendous. And there's not enough thanks in the world I can give to that. A little bit fast forward to this year. It was my senior year at Valparaiso. Be graduating in May. Was still kind of healing up from some knee injuries. Back and forth, I've torn both my ACLs, slight meniscus tears and ACL sprains and all sorts of different things. So it was kind of an up and down season. Was able to kind of find myself again and find basketball and the love for it. I'm very thankful for that and the people I met along the journey. When I was kind of given this opportunity a couple months ago, my sister kind of joked about it, and I was like, yeah, like, whatever, like, we'll see, like, you're funny. And finally have this opportunity, and now it's come to light, and it's just, it's really exciting. I've gotten a lot of support, a lot of texts the last couple days, and just shows me how much support I have back home.
Well, and so, that is quite the journey. And like you said, South Dakota is a special place and people come together. And, this is an interesting opportunity for you. And it sounds like maybe you've kind of, like you said, found a new love, not with yourself, but also then with the sport. Is that something that kind of wanted to give you one more year playing? Yeah,
it did. So I fulfilled my dream of playing Division I. It's been my dream for, I don't know, since my dad told me what it was, I think. So it was always my biggest goal. It's kind of why I stuck with it. And I learned a lot and met a lot of people and great experiences and the relationships I built. Very thankful for that. But I've known Coach Bertram since, I don't even know, since I was little. I mean, he's from the Winter area. Unfortunately, he went to Cologne and not Winter, but Winter was awesome. And so, like, having that relationship with Coach Bertram throughout the years, I'm not sure he even remembers me playing in a fall league for around him when I was a freshman. It was the year we won the state championship, I think, something like that. And I was looking back when all this kind of came to be, and I'm like, oh, wow, what an old picture. Like, I'm not going to post that because how young I look. Like, I'm like, no. But it kind of was a full circle moment for me. And kind of after conversations with him and my parents and people close to me, it was kind of like, Bella, you deserve fulfillment. That was the word he used. And I hadn't heard that word when it came to basketball in a very long time. So having someone tell me, Bella, you deserve fulfillment. You deserve to end basketball the way you want to and being you. And that kind of really opened my eyes to, like, okay, this opportunity is real. Like, this can actually happen. So it was kind of crazy, but it was always in the back of my mind the last few months, but I'm really glad it's happening.
Well, definitely. And so so you said you'll be graduating, so you'll be coming to Mount Marty. Are you pursuing something in, like, sports management or physical therapy or the physical fitness, or what will you be doing at Mount Marty?
I'm going to get my master's in the coaching leadership program, so okay. I'm really excited for that.
All right. And you said you enjoy lifting and the nutrition part of that. I'm intrigued by that, not because I'm physically fit at all. I'm working on it. My daughter is a personal trainer down in North Carolina, so she's a bodybuilder, so she does that. She's always sending me stuff. So what got you into that?
I would say maybe COVID. I think I was really introduced to lifting after my first ACL tear. I was so young. I was 13, and it was kind of like, all right, Bella, like, this is what you got to do. And I couldn't even believe how much, lifting and the strength behind the actual sport of basketball is. And I found it really intriguing, fell in love with lifting from a young age. And then kind of in COVID, when there's nothing else to do, you found, I don't even know, the most random hobbies. I don't even like to fish, and I remember fishing. So I kind of stuck with that, and it's kind of been a huge part of my life and really helped me, especially in Division I athletics. Nutrition and everything, super important for, not only just your body, but for your mind and the demanding schedule that comes with it. So yeah, it's just kind of turned into more of a hobby and a lifestyle. And I've had ideas of bodybuilding and stuff like that. I really want to get into personal training someday, though.
Well, I know my daughter loves it, and it's funny that you say COVID because COVID's what got her into it as well. Because you couldn't go to school. Obviously everything shut down. For that right at the state tournament, she was a student manager for boys basketball in Yankton. And so the one thing that was open was still the gym. So she'd go with me, and drove a passion for her that she's like, oh, I really like this. And by the time she ended up going back to school in person, completely different mindset about herself and about others and her own value and worth. And so it's odd sometimes when people say, COVID was horrible, but I'm like, for my daughter, it was the best thing for her because it allowed her to find herself. And it kind of sounds like you've been on a journey to find yourself. As you go into this year of basketball, it sounds like fulfillment is an interesting term. So are you setting goals, or are you just kind of saying, I'm just going to do the best I can and whatever comes, whatever happens type of thing?
I would say maybe a little bit of both. The main goal, obviously, for me on a personal side of things is I want to help my sister get back from her ACL tear. She's been out this for her senior year, and she's really, really excited. But I'm mostly excited because I get to help her and I get to almost hold her hand as she takes her next step into the basketball world. So that's more the personal side of things. Obviously, like I've talked with Coach Bertram, and we've set goals for the team and what we can do for the program, and I'm really excited for that. And yeah, I mean, nothing crazy like, oh, I want this or want that. I just want to make the people around me better, and I want to have a great goodbye to the game of basketball while also loving every second of it.
Well, I think that'll be amazing. Well, I'd like to touch just a little bit more on that, but I always like to ask some icebreakers. Are you willing to answer a few?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. One final meal. What are you going to have?
Oh, it's a good question. Probably, so it'd either be like just a steak that my dad grills. Just a steak my dad grills, broccoli cauliflower salad. Probably like rice maybe, and just vegetables. Just, yeah, really simple like that. But like on a more occasion, I'd want my mom's Italian meatloaf. That's we only have it on Christmas Eve, and it's my favorite thing in the world, but we have it once a year.
Well, that sounds amazing too. Italian meatloaf. All right. It was my dad's birthday yesterday, and he always cooks for himself. He makes himself a meatloaf. He does a bang up job, and meatloaf isn't always my thing, but man, you get a good one. It's hard to turn down. So I like that those answers. Let me ask, broccoli cauliflower. Does that have a dressing with it and sunflower seeds in there, or?
So yeah. So I'm not a big mayo person at all, but so you do kind of light mayo mixed with I think vinegar.
Okay.
As the dressing. And you can add, there's grapes in it and sunflower seeds, and some people do bacon.
Okay.
But yeah, my dad made it one summer, and I was kind of no, Dad, I'm not, no. And then I tried it, and it was so good, and now it's at every family thing.
Yeah, it sounds so bland, broccoli cauliflower salad, but yeah, you eat it, you're like, oh, this is not bad at all. So that's what I was picturing. I thought I want to make sure I clarify that I'm thinking the right thing here. That is awesome. All right, now, are you a fan of music?
I would say so, yeah.
All right, if you could see any three musical artists live in concert, so from throughout history, so living or dead, who would you want to see?
I've always kind of talked with my mom that we wanted to go see Pink together, just because, everyone knows Pink songs, and they're so upbeat and they're so fun. And being able to do that with my mom, and probably sisters even too at this point, would be really cool. So I would say Pink, probably Post Malone, just because, I really like his music and stuff like that. And the third would kind of be up in the air. I think it would be an opportunity more so. Like a friend says, oh, let's go to this. So it's more so like, I don't know, up in the air.
Okay. Hey, I can live with that one. That sounds good. Now, if you could travel back one time to any point in the Earth's history and you're guaranteed safe return, to when are you traveling and why?
Ooh, I think I would want to go back. I'm actually a big history person. I like learning about World War II and stuff like that. But I think I would go back to like the first Olympics. I think that would be so cool to see all that. I always loved reading about it, and obviously now you watch the Olympics now. So I think I'd want to go back and experience the first Olympics, maybe competing, watching, I don't know.
I think that'd be awesome. Oh, I love that answer. I really like that answer. All right.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
Now, assume all of your basic life needs are met. So you have guaranteed levels of food, shelter, clothing, and transportation. Really basic levels of each, but you don't want for anything. Money is no object, but you can only buy one thing. It can be an upgrade of one of those or something completely different and random. What would it be for you?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, like, I feel like the majority answer is probably phone, but I would probably say some sort of, like, ATV maybe.
Okay. All right. I like it. I like it. Now, if you were on a plane for 12 hours and you had to sit next to one fictional character, who would that character be?
One fictional, so no real people. Okay.
Correct.
I'd probably go with like a superhero of some sort. I'm not a big superhero person or Avengers, but I feel like it would just be cool just because you like see a couple movies, you're like, oh wow. So maybe that, or like, I don't know. The only like fictional person or thing that comes to mind right now is Bigfoot, and I don't know if I could sit by Bigfoot for 12 hours. So
I don't, well, because everything you read, air quotes, about Bigfoot, he would stink or whatever. So yeah, you don't want to be next to that for 12 hours. So we'll take the superhero. We'll figure that one out. All right, I like that. Now, finally, these final two maybe are a little more introspective, and I feel like you're going to have some good answers for these. For the first one, if you could relive one moment, and you can't change it, just go back and relive it. And this could be an instant, an event, a day, a weekend, whatever you quantify as moment. What would that be for you?
I think it would have to be when we won the state tournament when I was a freshman. That whole week, 2 weeks, was probably the best 2 weeks of my life. I was 15, so everything was just awesome in my eyes. And I remember we went up to the state tournament early because of a snowstorm. So it was just like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, we got to go to the mall and like eat and team bond. And then like 2 days later, we're playing in the state tournament. And I think that really was my, I don't know, how I started my impact maybe on high school basketball in South Dakota was that state tournament. And I think it gave me a lot of confidence going into AAU and the rest of my career. And obviously, bringing the first one home for winter was a goal since, like I said, my dad told me what it was. A lot of my goals when I was younger, my dad told me what it was. So I constantly had those in my head. And he would just be saying them randomly. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. So that is probably something I would relive every single day if I could.
All right. I like it. And then finally, as you've gone through life, this can be a celebrity or it can be somebody close to home, however you want to quantify it. But who is someone or are some people that you've held up as examples and said, if I can live life like her or him, I'm going to consider myself a success?
I think someone I kind of looked up to, there's a couple people, obviously, that I looked up to. But the first person that came to mind was Brianna Philippi, a Lennox grad. She also played at Northern State. I don't even know why. I just watched her play in AAU, And I was just like, kind of had it in my head, like, oh, like, she's so cool. She's like, I don't know, maybe 13. And I was like, I want to be just like her, and stuff like that. And then, fast forward a couple years and we're really good friends. I mean, I talk to her all the time. Unfortunately, can't make her wedding, but she was a big role model for me growing up. And it was, I mean, obviously we became competitors too. So I thought, oh my gosh, like, this is so cool. Now I get to play against her. But I also, I mean, I had a lot of great people to look up to also. Winter was really good about having, just like high school girls that, like, I always wanted to be like Kelsey Bertram growing up, and I watched her, and I always wanted to fill those shoes. So I think those were two, like, very early on role models I had.
All right. I like it. I like it. Well, you did great on the icebreakers. I know we hadn't talked about it too much beforehand, but you did great. But tell you what, let's circle back into basketball, and we'll wrap this up so you can get on with your life, if that's okay.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. So you're coming to Mount Marty. When will you be in Yankton? When do you report, and when does all of that happen for you? You have to finish, obviously, this semester and stuff, but then when does all of that start for you?
So all the details aren't quite worked out yet. We have a couple team retreats. I believe June 14th is the first one. So I'll be in Yankton then. I kind of planned on living in the Ohio area, kind of the summer with my boyfriend before I go back home, but planned on being out and about in South Dakota throughout the summer too. I want to come back and train a couple kids and obviously be at as many team things as I can. But yeah, so it's kind of hard to say a date, but I will officially be moved in August.
All right, excellent. And obviously, you're getting your master's coaching leadership. What would you like? Where would you like to see yourself 10 years from now? Whether it's physical location, occupation, social life, whatever it might be. What would you like to be able to say 10 years from now? This is what I'm doing, or where I am.
I would like to say that I was able to fulfill my dreams of working in NCAA athletics or professional sports. But my ultimate goal and dream is to be an athletic director of some sort. I really like the administration and relationship building side of things. And, I mean, I can't get enough of sports. I love them. I mean, I'm choosing a career in them. So I would say that, and I mean, married and have a really good relationship still with my family and still close with my sisters and, yeah, kids and stuff like that. That's what I would say.
All right. And then finally, obviously you've left your mark on South Dakota basketball. As time goes on, again, 10, 15, 20 years from now, I'm really big in the history of sports, and I love bringing up names from the past. When your name comes up, 3-time All-Stater, one of the top 15, 20 scorers of all time in girls basketball in South Dakota, what would you like your legacy to be?
My legacy, I think kind of what I've learned this last year is, so probably a little different than like what my high school career was, but 10 years from now, I want the people around me to remember me for how I treated them, how I made them feel, never about the minutes played or the awards won or points scored. I want to be able to make my mark in people's lives, be a role model, be a walking Christian. And I think that's kind of the legacy I want to leave. I mean, the basketball side of things is great, but I've really, really learned that you're more than a basketball player. So I think I would just like, oh, she was a great basketball player, but she was a great friend. She was a great daughter, a great sister. So I think that's what's really important to me.
And just finally, off of that, do you think the kind of winding road that you've had since high school, do you think that's changed your perspective about that and maybe said, wow, life is more than just basketball, that I have more to me than that?
It definitely has. I mean, after injuries and transfers and family situations and stuff like that, it changes you. And one thing I kind of decided was like, you wake up one morning and you either let it consume you and ruin you and completely just destroy who you are and what you're about, or you can get up and say, well, I'm more than that. There's more to me. There's so much more than basketball. I can do this. I can do that. I have great people around me. And also, like, my faith in God has also really grown on different sides of things. So that's been really important as well.
Well, Bella, this has been a pleasure. I want to thank you for carving out the time to talk with me today. Really appreciate it. Hope you don't feel like it was a waste of your time, but I really enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to getting a chance to see you on the court for Mount Marty and maybe getting a chance to touch base again. But best of luck with everything. And again, thank you so much.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Can't wait to continue to build this relationship and my future at Mount Marty.
Sounds good. You have a great rest of your day and have a happy Easter.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Bella Swedlund of Mount Marty University. She will be in the fall. And so great basketball pickup, and just looking to close out her basketball career just on a high note. Playing and getting to kind of do it her own way. A lot like Matthew Morris, if you think about the way he got to do it at SDSU. So looking forward to seeing her in action. A really nice pickup for Mount Marty, and excited to see what she can do as a Lancer. But you can just tell she's so much more than what you're just going to see on the court. So that's exactly what Coach Bertram tries to promote and recruit, and that's what he's getting. So excited to see what she can do on the court and off the court. Just sounds like a great young lady. All right, we'll be back with more. This is At the Mic with Michael Schumacher, brought to you by JR's Oasis. More than a fuel station, more than a convenience store. It's your one-stop travel shop. And if you'd like to sponsor, if you'd like to be a promoter of our GPAC updates, those GPAC updates from Corey Wester and our interviews with people from Mount Marty or from Dort, because we've been talking to Coach Bill Harmson. We talked to Macy Sievers. If you'd like to be a sponsor of all of that, I'd be willing to talk to you. You just give me a call, 605-661-5858. We'll be back right after this.